Hello folks, welcome back. Now everything we've been covering so far has pretty much been really closely aligned with HTMX. Now we're going to start the process of moving, I think, beyond HTMX, and I'm going to show you in this video how to build a dynamic sort menu, or you can call it a drop down, a jump menu, a select menu. But the idea is we've got a table of products here and we can select and order by price. Do you see how it's ordered by price? Or rating, or you can do price descending, you see, or ID, name, anything you want actually. And this is the same type of functionality that I had demonstrated previously in the module market. So if I choose order by rating, there you go, order by newest first. You get the idea. So it's how to do this type of thing. Now, normally this would be really difficult. With Trongate MX, it's actually fairly easy. So buckle up and here we go. Alright folks, now I'm slightly embarrassed to tell you this, but this feature has just been added 3 minutes ago. I had it on my local host, but I forgot to upload the feature, you know. So please do make sure that you have a version of Trongate that's new. And to be clear, it's in the public folder JS and it's Trongate MX.js. Now I'm talking here on the 2nd of October. If you're watching this after the 2nd of October, you'll be fine. But if you're somebody who's following along just as I'm uploading this, you might need to go and grab this, because this is a new feature. And in case you're wondering, this one is to do with dynamic URL construction in Trongate MX. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a brand new module called products. Now I've given myself a head start here because by now I think you should know how to do this, right? So it's a folder inside modules called products, and then a controllers. You can see I've got an assets thing. Don't worry about that. Just add a subdirectory of controllers, a subdirectory of views, and inside the controllers folder, we're adding in products.php with a capital P. Now, I apologize for not walking you through that, but I got into a real mess there because the thing never worked. So I hope that you know how to do that, okay? Now, I've got an assets thing here, but don't worry, I'll show you that in a minute. The main thing is that you should now be able to go to your application and navigate to products/browse. And you should have something like that, okay? So by now, I really hope that this is starting to get comfortable, this sort of thing. Okay, so now allow me to introduce you to this thing that I've created, but you don't have to create this, okay? I've got an assets directory here with a file named products.sql. Hi folks, it's Future DC here, and I wanted to just show you how to get this SQL file that I'm just showing you on the screen here. So we do have a GitHub repo for this tutorial series. I'll leave a link in the description. Now if you head there, you can click into modules and then products and then assets, and then you should see products.sql. This is the file. And by the way, if you click on raw, you'll get the file right here on your browser. So you can just copy this and then copy this, just paste it into your phpMyAdmin or whatever you're using, okay? So that's how you get the SQL file. Link in the description. And now back to the tutorial. And I'm going to ask you to copy this SQL code, and we're going to create a little products table. In fact, there's two parts to it. If I just copy this and head over to the database here, here is the database. And I'll just say SQL and go like this. So that's the table created. It's called products. And then we can grab this part here and then go like this and then paste in like so, okay? So we've now got 50 products and there you go. So moving forward, I'm going to assume that you've got a products module and you've got a database table. Shall we dance? Yes, we shall. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a page that fetches the products and displays the products, okay? So I'm going to say data rows is this model get ID. That's going to fetch a bunch of rows. It's going to call upon the model class and we're going to order them by ID. Then I'm going to say data view file equals browse. And finally, instead of loading up a view, that's a little bit, well, maybe not today. Let's say this and we'll load up a template. Aha! And let's load up the public template. This comes with Trongate. And we'll say comma data. Okay. So if we now save and refresh this here, well, you can see it's starting to give us some kind of template. As always, don't worry if your template looks different from mine. And you can see it's trying to load up a view file. So let's go into views. We're going to have a new file, which is called browse.php. And there it is. Now, by the way, the stuff that we passed in, all of this stuff is available inside the view file. So we could say JSON rows, for example. This is a little function that comes with Trongate, and it gives us a beautiful JSON representation of all the data here. Now, let's do something a bit nicer than this. We'll have an H1 and we'll add in a class of text center, and I'll just say products like this. And then let's have a table. Now the table is going to have a T head section. Then we're going to have a table row with 4 THs. I'm using Emmet for speed, by the way. And if you don't have this, well, I guess you're just going to have to type. But the 4 table headings will be ID, name, price, and rating. Then I'm going to have T body. And for speed, I'll just copy this, paste in. And of course, these THs become TD. Something like that. And refresh. Okay. Looks kind of cool. Looks kind of cool. All right. So the idea now, of course, is that we're going to go to these rows here. And we're going to go into PHP. And we'll say for each rows as row. And I'll break out of PHP here, right? So run about here. We'll close off our curly bracket. And you can use alternative syntax if you want, you know, end for each and all of that. Do whatever makes you feel good. I like curly brackets, but you do whatever you like, okay? So if we save and refresh, you can see we've got a whole bunch of rows here. And so now all we have to do is add in the values. So using short tags, it's row. I usually say loading up when I use this. So loading up ID, there it is. And we'll do this for the other values. I'm going to use the out function here and say row loading up name. The out function is going to remove any potentially dangerous characters. So again, row, we'll go with price this time. There you go. And I'll just say row rating. There you go. Okay. Now I hope that that's not too challenging for any of you folks. All we've done is fetched from a table And by the way, it's reading the table name from the URL. We could have went like this if we wanted, but it can read the table name from the URL, okay? So it's fetching the rows, adding it into a view file, and then it's displaying this table. All right, now, this is ordering by ID. Let's do something a little bit more interesting. I'm going to make a private function. That means it can only be accessed from this class here. And it's going to be called get order by. And the idea here is that we're going to get an order by value. I'll call it order by val. And we're going to get it from segment 3. Now, we don't have anything on segment 3. We've got products, that's 1. Browse is 2. But segment 3 is empty. In any event, the idea is we're going to have a switch statement here. And this switch statement is going to look at the order by value. And it's going to return an order by variable. So for example, if we have, let's say, something like name, then the order by is going to be name. And then we can say break, okay? If we have an order by value of price, well, of course, order by is going to be price. If we have an order by of price, I'll say underscore DESC, or you can use a hyphen if you want. So if that's the case, then the order by is price space descending, because this will be for an SQL query, remember? We can do the same with rating. I'll just go like this. Rating. There you go. Something like that. So we've got name, price, rating, but the default is going to be order by is ID. There you go. So a fabulous little PHP method that is going to return an order by based on the value that it reads from the URL. So now we can go back upstairs here and we can say order by is this get order by. Now I can even echo the order by little die statement. And you can see there that it says ID. Of course, we can forward slash and say price, etc. Price underscore DESC. You get the idea. So now I'm going to pass this order by into this little query here. So that means that we're fetching some rows, but we've now got this dynamic order by going on. So check it out. Here we've got price underscore descending. Let's do name. So I'm going to products forward slash browse forward slash name. And there you go. Let's try price. And you can see it's ordering by price. Very, very nice. All right, so we've done a lot of groundwork, and I think that this is looking really cool. Now, let's open up our tutorial thing. So we're going to have public function dynamic sort, okay? I'm just going to echo OK. So tutorial forward slash dynamic underscore sort. This is where the magic is going to happen. So I'll say this view dynamic sort. I'll just use a view file this time just to confuse everybody. And you can see that I've got, okay, pretend you did not see this. I'll take this out. Yes, I did have a test run. So we're going into views, new file, dynamic sort.php. There it is there. And I'll copy all of the stuff from this first thing. And of course, you could use a template if you want. I'm just mixing it up here. You know, why not? Why not? All right, so for the headline, I'll just say dynamic sort. That's what we're doing. And I'll take away this paragraph and let's have it so that the GET request is going to go to base URL, then products / browse. And there you go. Now, by the way, we don't need this base URL here. I just realized that because we're using this base thing. Okay. So that's kind of cool. But for the MX select, I'm going to select the table. And there it is. Okay. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. So obviously that's reaching out to the other page that we just made. It's grabbing the table and it's chucking the table inside the div with an ID of result, and it's doing it when the page loads. Now, let's add a select menu here, or you might call it a drop down. I'm going to say select. We don't need to worry about IDs and stuff, just really, really simple, okay? And we're going to have some options here. We'll start with an ID, something like that. And let's add some other options. I'll go with name. Let's have price. Let's have price descending. So that would be price underscore descending here, but a little space here. And then we'll do the same for rating. I'll just copy and paste rating, and there you go. Okay, so I've got a little drop down menu here. It's going to look terrible, and it does, but that's not a problem. We'll just have a little div with a class of, I'll say MT3. That means margin top 3M. I'll say MB3. And then I'll paste the select thing inside this. Okay, so that gives us a little bit of vertical space. And if you want, head to the styling part and we'll say select max width is 360 pixels. I know I'm going fast and I apologize. I'll also say margin 0 auto. Oh, pardon me. No, I won't. I'll go to the div and I'll say text center. There we go. Okay, I know that was going fast. I apologize. It's just that we have a lot to get through. So here's a little drop down menu. It's not doing anything, but we're going to make this thing work and it's going to be super cool. So the way that we're going to do this is we'll copy all of this stuff from here and just paste it straight into the opening select tag here, right? And we're going to do just a couple of little tweaks. One is for the MX trigger, we're going to say change. So that means when this drop down changes, then it's going to fetch from the URL. But one other change is on the URL, we're going to do a / and then a $, curly brackets, and then it's going to be this dot value. So what that's going to do is it's going to add the selected value onto the URL. So do that and hit save, and then refresh. So the moment of truth, I'm going to select an order by price, and won't you believe it, it has ordered by price. I'm going to order by name. And look at that. We are ordering by name. Let's do price descending. There it is. Let's do rating descending. And there you go. Just look at that. Isn't that fantasticola? And back to ID. And there you go. So there's how you do a dynamic sort menu or a dynamic jump menu. I don't know what to call this. But there's how you do one of those in Trongate MX. And it's all covered in the documentation, by the way. It's on this part here, dynamic URL construction. There is other ways that you could do this, but this is just one possible way of many. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you later.